happened to the rest of the smiling critters? Well, to figure this out, the first thing we have to look at is all of their cardboard cutout voice lines. And afterwards, we're going to be analyzing each member of the smiling critters one by one, all the way down to their personality, and speculate on how each of them could have possibly died. Starting with Bubba Bubbafant. Bubba Bubbafant is the most intelligent smiling critter and acts as the brain of the gang. And this is even shown in the Smiling Critters intro, as he removed Crafty Corn's painting to show a complex math equation, and his identity as a genius is based off the real fact that elephants have extremely good memory. His voice lines are also the most tame out of all of them, if you exclude the screaming, of course. What's weird about Bubba Finn's voice line specifically is that when he's screaming, he's also laughing at the same time.
Hey, Bubba Finn! Hey! I remember you! An elephant always remembers! Want to know what I remember about you?
I might have a valid reason for this happening. However, before looking into that, we have to take a look at one of his normal voice lines, which could be taken multiple ways.
Want to know what I remember about you?
When Bubbafant says this, it could mean two things. The first is that he's just expressing the fact that he has great memory, or it could mean that he remembers us working here 10 years ago. But you can honestly look at it both ways now. The reason I think Bubba Finch was heard laughing in his last voice line is because of how he and the rest of the smiling critters acted in the end of the episode. When the crew weren't able to sleep, they get a knock at the door, and it's revealed to be Catnap. And Bubbafant was the first to come up and ask for Catnap to put them asleep after everyone pleads for this. However, once Catnap secretes the red smoke, everyone, including Bubbafant, is seen laughing maniacally. Now, I'm not sure if the red smoke from the show has the exact same properties as the one in real life, but it seems to show signs of insanity and addiction when someone inhales it, along with them being able to fall asleep. But with that being said, there's a chance that Bubbafant laughing in his last voice line is linked to Catnap, as he was initially exposed to the red smoke, causing him to laugh, and Catnap took this opportunity to kill him. Next up is Kicking Chicken. Kicking Chicken is known as the cool character in the Smiling Critters, as he likes to keep his cool image and is shown surfing in the intro. He's very determined and doesn't give up easily, even in tough situations. However, Kicking Chicken can get scared like the other 6 characters in the show, which is not only seen in the show, but it's also heard in his voice lines, as they first include him asking to go outside and hang out. But after this, he says that he's never been outside before, and he asks for us to come with him, admitting that he's scared to go alone, trying to keep his image. However, he says that he'll step out first, and soon after, you can hear him screaming.
Hey, I'm Kicking Chicken! Want to go outside and hang out? It's looking pretty bad outside. I've never been outside before. Will you come with me? I'm scared. Here, follow me. I'll step out first.
What does all this mean? Surely he doesn't die because of the sun or something outside. So why is he killed right after trying to venture off outside? Well, if you look at Playcare as a whole, it seemed to be some type of controlled environment that tries its best to simulate the outside world, which is kind of disturbing when you think about it. Kicking Chicken most likely knew of this and Playcare's nature, and was curious about what the real world was actually like. But I don't think his fear was because of the outside world itself. During one of our interactions with Poppy, she lets us know that the prototype will kill us the second we try to escape, so we have to dispose of him first.
Try to escape? He'll kill you before you ever reach that front door.
And Kicking Chicken was likely aware of the fact that something would happen if he were to step foot outside of the building, and once he tried to leave, he's either killed off by Catnap or the prototype. Now we have Picky Piggy, a healthy eater who loves food and encourages her friends to eat a well-balanced diet, though she also harbors a secret fondness for cheeseburgers and PB&J sandwiches. Her voice lines include her expressing her love for food, but as you go on, she slowly starts to talk about meals that are made of the rest of the Smiling Critters. But even after this, she says that she's still hungry and offers a friendship with us right after.
Hi there, I'm Piggy Piggy. Let's eat. Roast beef, delicious. Grilled chicken, down the hatch. Stewed elephant, hungry. Hey, what do you say you and I be friends?
Knowing this, it's clear that Picky Piggy ate all of her friends and still needed to eat afterwards. But now we have 3 problems. Wouldn't that get in the way of how everyone else died? And how did she end up dying after she ate everyone? Well, this actually means that Piggy had to have been the last to die, on top of the fact that you don't hear her screaming or being killed in any of her voice lines. So what I think happened is, after all, the smiling critters were killed by either Catnap, the prototype, or natural causes. Piggy was the last one alive, excluding Dog Day, of course, and to keep living, she ate the bodies of every single one of her friends. But this leads to the one question we all have: who did she eat for beef? Now, this is a good question. I have tried to dig into the files, and the only thing I could find was maybe a rejected 7th member of the Smiling Critters. But one thing for sure is that after this, she had no more food to eat, leading to her eventually starving to death. Next up is Hoppy Hopscotch, who said to be the friend everyone needs to maintain their energy and enthusiasm, and her personality is also seen in the show for the Smiling Critters, as you can see her playing soccer on a rainbow in the intro. Kind of weird, but whatever. And while sometimes being loud or impatient, she's still willing to slow herself down to please her friends. Now, the impatient part of her personality is very much shown in her voice lines, as she's convinced that if she keeps trying, she'll be able to jump to the moon. So she tries multiple times, growing increasingly frustrated at the player. But in the last voice line, when Hopscotch tries one last time, she's heard screaming while saying the word jump, and the audio cuts out. And right before this, she said to not look at your feet, and none of that matters.
I'm Hoppy Hopscotch. You want to try hopping to the moon with me? On 3 with me. 1, 2, 3! Heh, didn't get very far, did we? Again! 1, 2, 3! Nope. Still didn't make it. Listen, this won't stop until we make it to the moon. 1, 2... Oh no! Don't look at your feet! None of that matters! Again! Again! Jump! Jump!
Now, I think this one is the most obvious. Hoppy Hopscotch is somehow deluded into thinking that she can jump to the moon, and when she tries one last time, she didn't look at where she was and ended up jumping off some high platform, falling but not dead, as there is no clear sign that she is dead, and so we have to assume she is missing. Up next is Bobby Bear Hug, who possesses warm and appreciative qualities similar to how Huggy Huggy was designed, and she cares deeply about her friends and everything around her. Maybe a bit too much. However, Bobby can also be seen as naive, as she may care about someone who doesn't have her best interests at heart. And she's also shown to have a fear of being abandoned, as she asks the player if they're going to leave her and that she's been lost a long time.
Hi, I'm Bobby Bear Hug. Want to know how much I love you? I love you to the moon and back. I'm crazy about you. I'm lost without you. I've been lost a long time. Please, take me with you this time. You won't leave me, will you?
Honestly, think that this is the saddest of them all, especially considering the fact that Bobby Bear Hug is the one who cares most about everyone, and yet she ends up being abandoned. This obviously leads to the question, why and how was Bobby Bear Hug abandoned? Well, this might be due to her clingy tendencies, and the rest of the Smiley Critters didn't want to be around her because of how close she wanted to be with everyone. Or perhaps she was one of the last to be alive and couldn't find anyone else, which could explain her saying why she's been lost for a long time. And when she says, "You won't leave me this time, will you?" it's likely that she's referring to us leaving Playtime Co. and coming back, letting us know that she doesn't want us to leave again. And after having no one to love, no one to talk to, and nothing to eat, Bobby Bear Hug slowly starved to death, possibly never being found, due to the fact that Picky Piggy never even mentioned eating bear in any of her voice lines. But this does lead to the question, could she have survived, so let me know in the comment section below. And now we have Crafty Corn, a creative unicorn with a passion for art, sharing its importance with the other crew members. She also appears to be a peacemaker, seeing the beauty in all things around her, and in the cartoon's intro, she demonstrates her skills as a talented painter by painting an exact replica of Bobby Bear Hug. Now, in her voice lines, it sounds like she's making another painting and realizes that she ran out of red. And once she's told this, she doesn't believe you and suspects that you're hiding more red from her. And suddenly she yells at you to give it to her, and screaming is heard, right after which she says that now it's much better.
Hi, I'm Crafty Corn. Can you help me with my painting? Pass me the blue, please. Thanks! Now, can you give me some red? More red, please. Out? But we can't be out. You're hiding more red from me. I know you are. Give it here!
Crafty Corn, I'm led to believe that when she's talking about red being hidden from her, she's most likely talking to a member of the Smiling Critters. And what's even worse is that she's likely talking about their blood. This is evidenced by the fact that once she yells at one of the members to give her some more red, you can hear one of them screaming right after, which likely means that she killed them for their blood. But how did she end up dying herself? Well, Crafty Corn could have either died due to starving to death, or she was killed by the other Smiling Critters after expressing her violent behavior and killing one of her friends. But for this member specifically, her voice lines don't really reveal a concrete reason as to how she really died. And lastly, we have Dogday, the trusted leader of the Smiling Critters, always looking at the bright side of things and encouraging others in their time of need. In his voice lines, he tells the player to go fetch and then questions why we're just standing there. And afterwards, he tells us that we can't stay. But right after this, we can hear Dogday screaming for a lot longer than the other members who died.
Dogday says, fetch! Go, go! As far as you can! Why are you just standing there? You can't be here. You can't stay.
Now this one is honestly the most disturbing because we somewhat already know what happened to Dogday. In his first voice line, when he tells us to go fetch, that's referencing his wants for us to leave Playtime Co. And he questions why we're still here. And when he tells us that we can't stay and that we shouldn't be here, he's indirectly revealing the truth of Playtime Co. in showing that he doesn't agree with its beliefs, more specifically the prototypes. And so Catnap and the prototype torture Dogday for encouraging the others to escape, as that's what they do to heretics. This likely explains why the screaming lasted so agonizingly long, and you can actually hear the moment where Dogday's legs are cut off and fall to the ground. Makes Dogday's death all the more horrific, especially considering that everything he was saying in the cardboard cutout was pretty much the exact same thing he was telling us in person. But what do you guys think happened to the rest of the Smiling Critters? And will they potentially make an appearance in the upcoming chapter? Let me know down in the comments. Thanks for watching. Subscribe and stay curious.